The evidence that we have suggests that young people's savings and spending habits are set by the age of 11 and 12. So therefore we really need young people to understand the value of money and the value of saving on a regular basis in their primary schools. So as they go through their education, they're saving on a regular basis, learning the true value of money and the true cost of high APR rates.
I think we'd all agree that saving is an excellent habit to get into at an early age. I remember back to when I was a child, and I think my bank account was opened about 3 days after I was born. It hasn't really helped me in terms of being a fantastic saver since then, but I was aware of saving, and I think it's important that school children are encouraged to become regular savers. It seems to me that the banks aren't really interested in children until they become students. And actually we can provide access to savings for children in a friendly way and in a fun way.
We really need to encourage the heads to become involved. We know they've got such a busy schedule, but the schools that we work with at the minute absolutely love what we do.
I would recommend that head teachers see this as a really positive way forward. It's a way of getting children to engage with money, which is an important part of our lives, but it's also a way of reaching their parents and their families as well.
Going back to the days when I was actually at school, we used to buy little green stamps and stick them in a little book, and that sort of taught people what saving was all about, and credit unions is a great way of doing that.
With regards to kind of primary school and secondary school head teachers and how they actually view the kind of educational aspect of this, it is primarily fixed on the curriculum side of things. The secondary nature of the community element, the ethical benefit basically, is there but doesn't seem to feature primarily because of the focus of Ofsted and because of the focus of curriculum. And as being a parent governor myself, I can kind of see how that kind of works. But at the same time, we know that Ofsted, for example, they don't just focus on curriculum. They do have an outsider perspective of where do you live, what's the community like, how does the school impact upon that community. And I think from a school perspective, that's one of the key things that we should be selling and the school should be getting a handle on, is that by doing something like this with a credit union, with a community bank, then they're not only doing the curriculum stuff, which they need to around the maths and whatever it might be, but also they're having a kind of knock-on effect to that local community. And I hope, again, we can talk about volunteers coming into the school to help support that, but it's about raising that profile. And I think one of the things that's key for us as well from schools is that each school tends to have a newsletter. And that newsletter can then promote the credit union, can promote the community bank basically within that community and push that forward and hopefully raise that profile. So there are a number of ways in which the school should kind of consider this, certainly from a curriculum perspective, but think of the community element. And I think from an Ofsted perspective, that's a great appeal.
We want children to value money and to not be tempted as they grow up through their life to go to the doorstep lenders. Also in the schools, it's a way of trying to get the parents to join. So the children save, so why don't the parents come and join as well? We've been sponsored by the Area Action Partnerships, the County Council, the Coalfields Generation Trust. Lots of people encourage the credit union to do this. So we really want the schools to help. We want to help them, and help we want from the schools is just let us come in and let us help your children learn to value money.